Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Good morning from Los Angeles, California. We are here knowing the truth together as one divine mind. There is one divine mind, and we get to use it in our unique divine expression. So today is an opportunity to step into a wealthy mindset. And the topic today, actually the title is 7 Principles for a Wealthy Mindset. And what is wealth? I think we have to first define what wealth is. And of course, there is an abundance, a mentality, an innovation. And then there's the external world, which is basically, having assets, building money, building the ability to have resources, building the ability to delegate and have teams. So I think for you and for all of us, we need to first define what we consider wealthy. I think that everything in the universe is a relationship. Everything really is communication. And so the first thing, if you're trying to overcome something or have power around the conversation of a specific agenda or whatever, is we first have to define what that is for ourselves, and it's going to be unique for each person. So on that note, knowing the truth today, we teach universal laws, spiritual principles, how we direct energy upon mind. We have to know that a wealthy mindset, a wealthy life comes down to a different definition for each human being, okay? So on that note, I've kind of distilled it down into 7 principles for a wealthy mindset. So you're welcome to get out a pen and paper. You can also always look at the notes. I believe that they are on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, should have all the notes. If not, they are always on YouTube. I put all the notes on there as well, and I upload every day the podcast on there, okay? So 7 principles for a wealthy mindset. Number 1 is to decide. Like all things, I say this over and over again. You're like, oh man, same principle for everything. Yeah. Number 1 thing is the power of decision, to decide. You decide when you're tired of being broke and when you're ready to choose an abundant life. Because we know it always comes down to a decision first, number 1. So if you're going to live a life of wealth and have a wealthy mindset, you've got to decide. Decide, I'm sick and tired of being broke. I'm ready to live a life and claim my birthright of abundance, prosperity, and cash, right? I mean, if you want to say that. Number 2 is letting go of scarcity mindset. And like everything we do, and you can, listen to many, many podcasts here, and you will know that the work is always the same. It is all about reprogramming. So letting go of scarcity mentality. What does that mean? That means letting go of limiting beliefs, family beliefs, cultural beliefs, limiting stories, scarcity mentality, liabilities. So, basically you gotta let go of the way you've been, okay? Because if you're not having a wealthy mindset, we know that it's because you've got programming, right? Your parents said, oh, it's money is the root of all evil, or only, you have to kill for money, or whatever that belief is around money. So when I'm working with clients, basically you just begin to list out, all their beliefs about money and any trauma around money, beginning to get in there and realizing what's playing out, because it's always a decision that's playing out. You'll know that with money, it's easy because people will have the same story over and over again. It's just the circumstance changes, the people change, whatever, but people generally have abundance of money, or they generally, are always looking to save money. They're trying to figure out, and manipulate it. So we need to know that we have handed the power over, that at some core level, at a soul level, that we have handed our power over to money. We have said it's more powerful than us. And so beginning to let go of those beliefs and beginning to reclaim the truth, which is that you are more powerful than all the money in this world. You have the ability to innovate and the ability to delegate, the ability to rise to the occasion for whatever it is that you are desiring in life, because it is an abundant universe, right? So number 3 is to set goals. wealthy mindset, people set goals. And we know that, again, I think it's 98% of the population does not have goals. And so if you want to have a wealthy life, you've got to set goals, specific and measurable. So, what is it that you're trying to achieve? Because if people are like, I just want money. Okay, well, how much money? Why do you want the money? Where do you want this to come from? How do you want to, strategically plan this out? And we know that we don't control all of it, but at the same time, we need to set measurable, specific goals. This is very common in leadership programs. It's one of the things. You set goals for, a 10-year goal, you set them for a 5-year goal, 1-year goal, quarterly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, daily goals, okay? So we set goals. That's how we are able to see and measure our own consciousness, right? It's one of the greatest things about developing your ability to manifest is if you don't have a goal, you can't even know if you're able to manifest or not manifest, right? So you got to set goals. You got to get real with yourself, okay? Number 4 is invest in yourself. Honestly, I think I've spent over $250,000 on my own consciousness of developing myself, subconscious work, getting my doctorate in divinity, doing all the work of investing in myself. So, develop yourself, develop your passions, your skills, your values. This is the path to finding your purpose and calling. And, even if you're spiritual or religious, tithing, pay yourself first. This is the best investment you'll ever make is in your consciousness. Talk about getting confidence. Talk about a wealthy mindset. Educate yourself. How did someone else do it? Where do people go? There's great books. There's a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read it years ago. Still great. I think it's still a bestseller. Just the mindset of buying assets versus liabilities. Invest in yourself. I don't know what that is, but sign up for a class, sign up for a mentorship, sign up for something that is going to expand you, because we know that the same mindset that got you where you are today cannot get you, it can't expand unless you expand, unless you put yourself in different situations. So number 5 is building assets. Assets. What is an asset? An asset means something that goes up in value, right? Generally, real estate, generally stocks, generally all these things, versus liabilities. Liabilities are things that depreciate, like cars, clothes, all those things. So purchase assets instead of liabilities. And, the wealthy people, honestly, what they do is they invest in assets, and the money that comes off the assets, like rent from a real estate thing, or, money coming off a stock, or their business that generates cash flow, then they spend the cash flow from the assets, but they never touch the principal. They let those assets grow. That is a wealthy mindset. So, assets also are good relationships, learning to collaborate and delegate. Okay. And then number 6 is be of service. So I would say the biggest shift in bringing value to the world is no longer looking what you can get, perceiving and questioning, how can I get money from the world? How can I get whatever? It's actually, how can I bring value? How can I help this person that is, an exchange of energy? So being of service is a mindset that we have to think about, and even our marketing. We have to think of what is in it for them, what's in it for the person that's looking at your ads or whatever it is. Being of service, okay? And then number 7 is get a mentor or support group. So who do you hang out with? Who you hang out with affects your mindset. And, mentors or support groups, usually there's something around doing daily things like visualization, affirmations. Surround yourself with the best, okay? So knowing that today, so those are the 7 principles. Again, they are to decide. Number 2 is let go of scarcity mentality, basically reprogram. Number 3 is set goals. Number 4 is invest in yourself. Number 5 is building assets. Number 6 is being of service. And number 7 is get a mentor or support group, okay? So then today's daily universal law, because every day we align with the universal law. Today is a law of action. Newton's 3rd law states, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. The universe is non-dualistic. It's a mechanical system, a unified energetic field. So this is how your actions are actively responded to and reflected back. So the reality is this: you either are living a wealthy mindset, you are taking action around that wealthy mindset or you're not. And you can take a look at your life and, stop being delusional and say, oh, I am living a wealthy mindset. Or, you know what? It's time for me to claim that. Time for me to decide to live a wealthy life. Okay? And then daily spiritual practice. Every day we do a daily spiritual practice. So take some time today to go within and visualize. Visualize. Can you even visualize yourself having a wealthy life? And then today's challenge is to sign up for a class or educate yourself. Read a book, do something. I don't know. So you guys, on that note, if you've enjoyed this talk, please like, share, or comment with somebody that you feel would benefit from this. You can find me at Erin Haskell. You can find me at Dr. Erin across all social media. And you can get my free app at it's Daily Dr. Erin at iTunes, Google Play, all that stuff. Tons of content on there. 30 guided meditations. We've got interviews, lessons, you name it. It's on there. So you guys have a wonderful day and may you live your truth.